All right, welcome back. We are hooked up with our new set of equipment here. I'm crossing my fingers that resolves the issue, and we do apologize for what happened in the first half there. So let me type something up on our YouTube channel here really quick. I'll type it up in a little bit here. We got to get our scoreboard reset up here, as this particular computer says it's 1-0, and it's actually 2-0 in favor of Sioux Falls. So give me a couple of seconds. I'll get that corrected. And our PA announcer was trying to catch up the clock in the first half, and now I got to catch up the clock in the second half here.
Yeah.
All right, so the clock is at 45:11 right now. We'll just set it for 45:20, and we'll hit start when the clock at the field here, it's 45:20. All right, 45:20, should be rolling. I believe the shots were 6-4 in favor of the Fusion. Let's get to the second half scoreboard graphic there for you. 6-5, or was it 5-4? Do you know?
I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest.
We're going to go with 5-4. I believe that was the accurate number there. And I see I need to make one more adjustment to our clock here. All right, now our clock is spot on. That's the exact time. So we are set there. And once again, if you're just tuning back in, we appreciate your patience there. And I'm glad that we could get on right as the second half was starting there. So,
yeah, it was impressive. It was.
We'll get back to the play-by-play here in just a moment, as I'm just making a couple more adjustments.
Going to be a big, probably first 15 minutes here coming out of this half for the Fusion. I'd say, said this last game too, but got to try and grab a goal early here if they want to try and salvage something out of this game in half number 2. They nearly had a chance right there with Adachi. His cross couldn't quite find a target, but going to be interesting to see. I'd have to imagine they're going to come out on the offensive here, throw a lot of bodies forward to start things off, but if you got to deal with the problem right here now, as it looks like it's going to be a free kick at a dangerous spot for the Thunder. Opting with the shot right there is certainly shooting range, although maybe a little bit over the bar, but it's one of those spots, that free kick right there. It's sort of, I won't say no man's land, but it's sort of that awkward spot where you could definitely try and shoot, but maybe just a little bit too close to try and put a ball in, because not a whole lot of space. You got to worry about guys being offsides or just putting it too close to the keeper. So a good job right there to deal with that free kick for the Fusion, and see if they can get a little possession strung together here, or if maybe the Thunder can try and grab a third goal and shut the door on this game.
All right, so I see we have about half of the viewers back. So if you want to send a shout out to your other friends, you can watch the game on the second half on this link now. That'd be much appreciated. And on the old video, I put the link to this video here. So it's if you go into the chat comments on the old video and just click or tap on the link, you should be able to find that second half link. So once again, we apologize for that. I'm hoping that this one's a little bit better here, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna just do one last thing here and make 100% sure that there isn't anything crazy going on, to the best of our knowledge. And as I look at my phone, this appears to be much better. So Yes, that looks awesome to me. Hopefully it looks awesome to you at home. So thank you so much for notifying of us of that issue, so that we had an opportunity to at least attempt to resolve it, and it looks like we did just that. So I want to thank Eric for kind of keeping the commentary going there as I was working on fixing things. So once again, the first half not extremely terrible, but there was some glitches that, in my humble opinion, are unacceptable. So, and I'm sure that's more than a humble opinion. So, all right. So we haven't missed any goals, right? It's
correct.
Yeah, okay, it's still 2-0 on the scoreboard in the field, and scoreboard in the field says 50-30. That's exactly where we're at too. Awesome. So we're right on pace with where we need to be, and now 5 minutes into the half, we can return to our normal play-by-play broadcast. So once again, if you have friends that were watching on the previous link, send them a text or Facebook message or however, or a phone call or whatever works best for you, and let them know that the second half is live now. So and you haven't missed anything. It's still 2-0 here on the Sean Carlson Town and Country scoreboard here on Magnitude Sports. Mike Mason alongside Eric Tianson. And we hope that you're enjoying the second half here. We know that if you're a Thunder fan that you're smiling right now, but we're not 100% sure if the Fusion fans are enjoying this at the moment. So make sure our microphone levels are set. Testing. Yeah, okay, cool.
Fantastic run right there.
I saw it out of the corner of my eye, so I was like a centering pass there from Valet, and that's about all I was able to get as I was making that final fine-tune adjustment there.
Like I said earlier in the first half, Valet is really going to be a guy that I think the Fusion should play through to try and get these 1, maybe even 2 or 3 goals here, should they try and grab something out of this game. He's been, I'd argue, probably their best player thus far, certainly the most creative player with his runs up the wing and up the middle, and some nice dribbling as well.
I want to say hi to Nathaniel. He says it's much better with a bunch of exclamation points. So thank you, Nathaniel, for confirming that. And now we have some action on the far side here. It appears that could possibly be Josh Thompson slow to get up for the Fusion. And I think we're right. Yes, we are right. That was Josh Thompson. Once again, you get in too close and it gets blurry there.
Yeah.
So don't get in that close, I guess. But well, all the rain occurred while we were setting up our new equipment. So, or not necessarily our newer equipment, but our backup equipment, I guess is the best way to say it. Making a move inside there is Stevenson Storm, who scored the first goal in the first half for the Thunder. And CB confirms what Nathaniel said. I'm not sure what the full name is, but thank you, CB. And a lead pass up there in the direction of Zamba. Once again, Fusion going from left to right on your screen, and the Thunder going from right to left on your screen as you view it from home or your mobile phone or wherever you may be viewing it from. If you're at a watch party and they haven't switched over to the second half yet, let those friends know that it's up and running now. We're in the 54th. Make that the 55th minute now as that shot goes up high over the crossbar. I think the one thing that we might have an issue with here is Eric and I won't be able to hear the commercials, but you at home will be able to hear the commercials. So
well, that's
Lidge
nice
Antu. I butchered the name, and I'm sorry. Here's an opportunity, and it's in the back of the net. And it is 3-0 Thunder. The goal scored there by, let's see if his friends will stop giving him a hug. I can tell you who scored the goal, and it's Juan Macri with his second goal of the game, and he scores it in the 55th minute to make it 3-0 in favor of the Thunder.
Thunder goal scored by number 19, Juan Macri.
So now the Fusion down 3-0
here. For the Fusion, number 18, Jacob Holtz.
Jacob Holtz checking into the lineup. He snuck in. I didn't see that one. I'm glad our PA announcer did. And now Stevenson Storm takes it away. Centering pass deflected back out towards Storm over the back line. And I believe that's going to be a corner kick here for the Thunder. You have that flag or something tipped over behind the Fusion goal, and it's the same color as the Fusion jerseys. I thought we had a player down for a moment.
Yeah, it's kind of misleading out there.
So what I'll do for the Thunder and Fusion fans is a little bit later this evening, I'll take the 2 recordings of the first half and the second half. If the first half recording is not like the stream was, then we'll upload the whole game uninterrupted for you. But for the live broadcast, it's the best we could do, and we hope that you are back and watching once again.
Dangerous right here by Rosado, but good to see him commit right there, coming off his line all the way.
Yeah, I've never seen a goalie come out to the corner before. That was pretty respectful.
Yeah, you would be shocked at how adventurous some of these keepers get. Some of them, they will come really far out towards like maybe that 30-yard line, but that's when you're looking at really high level up in Europe. But certainly if you're good with your feet, that's a good skill to have. It's almost like an extra outfield player, but it's a dangerous game to play for sure, but Rosado winning that time.
I don't think Rosado did that in the game against Med City, but they're still trailing 3-0. And if you remember, the Fusion lost 4-0 to Med City, and they're on pace to potentially lose 4-0 once again here to the Thunder. In the first half, these two teams were pretty much locked up in a defensive war, and as soon as that second goal was scored by the Thunder, the momentum started to swing towards Sioux Falls ever since then, and it's been in their favor up until this very moment. So we'll see if that continues or not.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that 100%.
Corner kick coming up here for the Fusion. It might be a Dachi taking it. I'm not 100% sure. And I don't know if our camera is playing tricks on us or not, but it almost looked like a handball, but apparently he chested it down. And now the flag will go up as players are offside.
Well, that's what I was wondering too. I was surprised I didn't see more appeals for a handball maybe from the Fusion players, because really anytime it's in that neighborhood, I mean, especially if you're down on the field, you're going to have different angles. A lot of times they'll look like a handball even if it's not, but tough to tell if that was a chest or not. I couldn't quite tell from up here either, but certainly something to chew on maybe.
I have to take a look at the replay. We used to have replay technology, but with the switch to the new equipment, that is momentarily offline. So no instant replays here in the second half. It's a good thing we don't have an instant replay sponsor at the moment.
Yeah.
Have to refund them a half a game, so. Fusion working it on the far side there, and I think he tripped over his own feet there. Trying to pick it up there was Schaefer, and now the Thunder will take it away, and I believe it may have gone out of bounds. It might be a Fusion throw-in. We'll see here what the... Yep, and it is a Fusion throw-in. They'll get it in far side there to Schaefer, Schaefer will put it in, but picking it up there is Simonetti. That'll go into the books as a very weak shot, because if Simonetti wasn't there, it would have been in the goal. '60th minute, a couple ticks away from the 61st minute, and another whistle and another free kick here for the Fusion. Fusion will work it along their back line, survey the field, now send it up midfield there, and now they'll drop it back. And that is Valet with the ball right now as he gets around Glissendorf. Valet with a pass there, and now go into the hands of Simonetti. And quickly out of bounds off the goal kick there. I believe it was Storm who touched it last, so it should be a Fusion throw-in. And that does appear to be the case.
Fusion, number 20, Frankie Parkinson.
So Frankie Parkinson is checking in, as is Kyle Blight. Parkinson, a midfielder. Blight, a defenseman for the Fusion. It looks like Parkinson hasn't been allowed to come in yet, and now he's coming in. That's a little quick chat there with Aaron Pike, and it looks like he's calling in another teammate here to talk some things over. It's Pike, Parkinson, and I'm not sure who that other one is, as Pike is covering up his jersey number, and that's Austin Schaefer. So talking things over, maybe trying to create some sort of strategy here, as they have about just shy of 30 minutes to score 3 goals. A goal every 10 minutes would be great if you're a Fusion fan, and horrible if you're a Thunder fan. So
yeah,
unless, yeah.
I don't know that Thunder could take heartbreak like that 2 weeks in a row. That would be something else.
Yeah, it's now that you bring that up, yeah, they did have a 2-0 lead. The game was tied at 2. They got a 3-2 lead, and that'd be the final time they scored, as Med City would get 2 after that to take the 4-3 victory. That goal coming in the 93rd minute too, and you know, that's the one thing when we do our high school games, Eric. There is no stoppage time, so whatever happens, it happens. But you got to think about, in this game, you got to think about, you know, those fouls you commit, and you got to control your temper to make sure the cards stay in the pockets of the officials there, because you never know what happens during the game could create that stoppage time at the end that gives one of the two teams that opportunity that they otherwise wouldn't have had. So
yeah, and I mean, really, honestly, anything can happen during stoppage time. And let me tell you, if you're a team defending a lead in stoppage time, a 1-goal lead, those 5 minutes feel like 55.
Yeah, it's the longest 5 minutes of anybody's lifetime. So but we've had no cards handed. Oh wait, I take that back. We've had 1 card handed out. That was to Big Romani Omari. Got a yellow card in the 45th minute of the first half. But other than that, it's just been a bunch of whistles and a bunch of talking from the officials. A little passionate talking. But and like, see, last week that would have been a yellow card, but this week it's probably not going to be a card. Yeah, he's just gonna say like, hey, like, knock it off, you know.
I think I might have already mentioned this in another broadcast, but players love referees like this. You know, they understand it's a tough physical game sometimes, and unless it's something really egregious, they're gonna try and prevent from pulling out the yellow card. And looks like that's a case right there. The referee is gonna try and command some respect from the players. Say, hey, let's just keep playing. You can play physical, but don't make me pull out another yellow card, because maybe I won't be so forgiving next time.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's really, really bad, they have the option to skip right to a red. So
absolutely. And that is obviously not good, down a player. And not only that, but you get a few red cards, a lot of times that could put you in the doghouse of the coach as well. As
yeah, we have a yellow card right now.
There.
I believe that was assessed to the Fusion. I didn't see who got it, who they assessed it to, but he did pull out the card. And now we'll have a card for sure. And this one is on the Thunder. Go ahead, Eric.
You could hear him say, shaking his head, saying it's not a red, it's not a red. I have to imagine maybe a few of the Fusion players asking for a red, but quick to brush that off. And like we were saying earlier, you know, maybe if it was last week's referees, that might have been a red, but they're staying consistent.
Yeah, back-to-back yellow cards in about 10 seconds here, and you could. We mentioned something in the first half about losing patience. I think they've reached that point now. Not sure who it was assessed to. Too many people, and no, and even our PA announcer didn't get any notification on who got the card. So we just know that one yellow card to each team was assessed in the 65th minute, about 10 seconds apart. So if somebody else gets a yellow/red, then we'll know who that yellow card belongs to. But
Thunder, substitution number 22, Riley Arbo.
I have to wonder if that might be a substitution in response to one of those yellow cards. Make sure to get their guy off so he doesn't pick up a second yellow.
yeah, that way they keep their players for the next game. They've already lost one. He'll be back next game against El Sierras. At least presumably he'll be back, and if the coach decides to put him in the starting lineup. So far we haven't had the same starters for every game this season, so I don't want to jump to conclusions and say that he'll start, but you never know, he might. So Thunder working the ball along the far sideline there, and now will be deflected, and we have a Fusion player slow to get up. It'll be a free kick, and it appears to be Valet who is slow to get up. A nice show of sportsmanship there from Tyler Loomer, helping up Valet. And for some reason our clock stopped running, and I don't know why. Oh, it's okay. I see what happened. We need to modify that yellow card button because it stops every time a yellow card is issued. So that's a high school thing, not a. I thought I had all the high school stuff removed, but I guess I don't. All right, that's the correct time, 68-18 and counting. We'll get that fixed for the next game. So Fusion trying to work it up here, and they get a through ball out to the near side here onto the foot of Jacob Holtz. Holtz will cross it, chasing after it there is Zamba. Zamba will send it back in. It's headed away there by Omari. And Omari, and I'm not sure which Fusion player got there, but Omari won that battle. And a little takedown there by, I'm not sure which Fusion player that was, but he took down number 15, Yurga. I almost made that 6-16 mistake that I made in the first half.
Yeah.
So. So the Fusion have the ball on their back line, and they'll try and set up a play here. They're down 3-0 on the Sean Carlson Town & Country scoreboard. And there's an opportunity there as Parkinson gets a lucky bounce. And now up ahead, a shot, and it's going to go wide right. He couldn't quite get the angle on it that he needed. But if he had, it's possible it would be 3-1 right now.
Yeah, and it was kind of a tough angle right there. I'll cut him some slack, as that was going to be a heck of a finish if you put it away. How about that ball in, though, too?
Yeah.
Threaded in there perfectly, a nice little through ball, and that's probably been the best chance so far of the half for the Fusion.
Yeah, scoring chance in the 71st minute as Simonetti will put the leg on it up to about midfield, headed around there by the Thunder, and that ball finally touches the ground.
Almost like they're all playing keepy-uppy here.
Take a peek out the window here, and I'm kind of sad. We put our background mic up on the roof of the press box here, so that I wouldn't have to tell our friends who have the drum. And I think we might have a potential card here as contact was made with the goalie. And Simonetti holding his hands to his forehead. Not sure if he took a foot to the forehead or not, but hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he'll get up and continue to play here. And taking a peek at the bench for the Thunder, I don't see anybody kind of warming up. And it looks like Simonetti is on his feet now and maybe got the wind knocked out of him. I know that's how I kind of act when I'm trying to catch my breath. So
yeah, I've actually gotten my wind knocked out of me a few times on the soccer field, and I can tell you, yeah, you'll stay down for a few seconds, that's for sure.
Well, it's good to see that he's up and still able to play, and it was nothing serious. And now the goal kick will come out near sideline here. And out of bounds, and Adachi's like, hey, give me the ball, Storm.
That's usually something you might see between two teams maybe late in the game when they're trying to defend a lead. They're like, milk a few extra seconds off the clock before I give you the ball.
Well, Storm here, 1-on-4 doesn't usually go in your favor, and it didn't in that case either here, and the ball's cleared away. Fusion will touch up on it, though, as they get it up onto the foot of Abbas Ajabadi. And now a couple touches later, the Thunder have it back. I almost said Storm, Eric.
Yeah. It's tricky, let me tell you. It's
Well,
like a match made in heaven, though, those two.
It wasn't tricky for me until you made that error in the first half. I was just fine, so thank you.
My one mistake has led to a few other mistakes, so I guess that's 2 mistakes for the price of 1 on me right there if we're keeping track.
Well, thankfully that's not a stat we keep track of here. So here's an opportunity, potentially. Ball come out to the side here. Schaefer will send it back, and a whistle. And I was looking at the monitor here, and the official was off screen, so I'm not sure what the call was.
I think
looks like another one of those verbal warnings. If that's a stat we're keeping track of, that's got to be about the 21st verbal warning of the game. So
yeah, I can almost imagine just like a little graphic flashing on the bottom of the screen with referees' pictures saying verbal warnings.
We might have to create that graphic now. It can be done too. I have the ability to do that. It's not a part of a normal soccer broadcast, so I didn't put it in. Off the crossbar, and it's in. Is it in? I think it is. Yes. A little ricochet there. And I believe it's Kyle Blight who got the goal. So the Fusion have scored their first goal here on Magnitude. And it's 3-1.
Well, it's not quite game over just yet. They'll need to get 2 in about 16, but it's not impossible. We've seen stranger things happen in this sport, and like Mike was saying, their first goal on Magnitude, and a lot of times just seeing that ball go into the back of the net can do wonders for a team morale.
Scored by number 28, Kyle Blight.
And we don't have any complaints from the Fusion bench, so we must have gotten the correct player there on the goal. But that one was just kind of like sitting there, and like it was usually when the ball goes into the back of the net, if you were to clock it with a baseball radar, you'd probably get like 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. That one crossed the goal at about a half a mile an hour.
Yeah.
And as a result, the excitement for that goal was at about a half an ounce of excitement. So
I think a few of them, I know we were maybe confused. I think a few of the players are confused, like, is that in? Is that in? And then getting that confirmation.
Oh, near opportunity there. Nice cross pass by Aaron Pike, and Simonetti diving, and I mean, he wasn't able to get his hands on it at all, and he's just lucky there wasn't a Fusion player on the backside to put it in, because if there was, all of a sudden, this is a 3-2 ball game.
Yeah, no kidding. Might have lit a spark here for the Fusion, potentially, that goal. We'll see.
Now a little collision there, but we'll play on, and the ball will ricochet up. Dachi spins. Ooh. And that was I don't know if you want to call that a defensive or an offensive play there by Stevenson Storm, but it results in good things for Sioux Falls. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, how about
comes off the side of your face and rolls almost to the back line, and yet you just continue trotting down the field as if nothing happened. That was pretty impressive by Stevenson Storm for the Sioux Falls Thunder, no doubt about it. As we approach the 78th minute of play here, and you know, you're down 2 goals. It's not necessarily out of the question here. If you can get another goal in the next 3 to 4 minutes, you could be looking at an interesting ending here, but we'll see what happens. As nice footwork there by Beltran, but it's taken away by the Fusion. And now back up field and out of bounds. And it looks like we got everybody back now from the first half of our little switcheroo there. So we appreciate you sticking with us, and once again, we appreciate you making aware of what happened so we could have an attempt to fix it. Now, if the Fusion tie this game up, do the Thunder fans want us to switch back to the old piece of equipment?
Oh, man.
We still got a couple goals to work with here before we have to worry about that possibility. But since we switched equipment, the game's tied 1-1. So Thunder will pick it up there. That's Haggerty, and now Haggerty will get it off to his teammate far side. Can't quite see who that is. It appears to be Beltran, and Beltran's shot, if it was Beltran, is a little bit high to the wide side of the net. 3-1, Thunder over the Fusion here on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard. And now the Fusion, Schaefer more specifically, working up the near side, taps it up. Chasing after it was Pike. And Omari and Beltran both back there defensively for the Thunder. Throw in here for the Fusion. And Adachi will take the toss. Adachi playing I don't know if he's playing midfielder or defense today, but he was definitely an attacker in that game against Med City, and they must have made some adjustments because I haven't seen him much up on the front line in this game up until now. He's been in the back. So Adachi will center it, and that one will be popped out of bounds there by the Thunder, and it'll result in a Fusion corner kick. Nice job by Omari defensively to prevent that centering pass from going in. Adachi will fire it in, curve it, and it'll be immediately touched up there and sent out of bounds for a Fusion throw-in.
Yeah, you mentioned Omari there earlier. He's been fantastic. Really, outside of that yellow card, he has been just an absolute menace defensively. It's been really hard to get things past him, and I'd argue he might be very well the most valuable player so far for the Thunder.
Fusion will work it up here. That is Valet, and he'll hit the ground. And once again, verbal warning 23.
This is a big chance to maybe grab a goal right here off this free kick. Probably a little too far to shoot it. See if they try and play one in for a header in the box maybe.
From 40 yards out here, the Fusion will have a free kick. That's one benefit of playing soccer on a football field. You know exactly where it's at, where on a normal soccer field it has like 4 lines on the whole field, and here you got about 1,000 lines on the field. So, and a low shot will hit the wall set up by the Thunder just inside the 18. For those not familiar with that terminology, that's just inside the goal box. And now the Fusion will work it up from the back line there. They'll get it up onto the foot of Eric Fairlow. Fairlow from the Netherlands. He was a player added to the roster late in the game, preceding the game, heading into the matchup with Med City. And he was the only player that I didn't have information for. I had a first and last name. I didn't have a jersey number. I didn't have what position he played or anything. But now I have all that stuff. And now to go back to that last game, as out throwing his headed, and Fusion will drop it back. That's maybe Adachi headed up and over the crossbar. Nice save. Excellent save there by Simonetti, and wow.
Wow, indeed. That might be the player of the game right there.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
That one may have hit the crossbar had Simonetti not got his hands on it to pop it up, but man, that was, I mean, just the extra insurance there's a little extracurricular activity in front of the net. And now the corner kick will be double-headed out there, and now headed back in by the Fusion, and back and forth we go. And a shot and another save by Simonetti. Well, they may not be getting the goals, but they're sure putting the shots on net here in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a busy past few minutes here for Simonetti, and he's been more than up to the task, and he's probably the reason that they still got the lead right now, maybe.
And there was one save he made in the first half, too, that you take away all 3 of those saves, and the Fusion might have a 4-3 lead right now.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
I think that might have been a handball. Certainly looked like he, Limmer, I think that was Limmer, reached out there, and now it's some extracurricular activity on the far sideline there. Little pushing, shoving. Sends Jacob Holtz to the ground, and now the free kick, and Fusion will control it along the near side, advance it up the near side, and touched up there by the Thunder. Out of bounds for a Fusion throw-in, and taking the toss will be Schaefer. not sure how to pronounce your first name, but Mark Mayama, thanks for watching and for commenting on the video here. We certainly appreciate that. If you've enjoyed the second half more than the first half, we'd appreciate it if you'd give this video a thumbs up. So. As we approach the 86th minute here of play, if I had to take a guess, I have 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage time here, and maybe 4 coming up here in about. We'll get the signal here in about maybe 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, we have up to 7 built in on our stream deck. I certainly can't imagine that we'd need more than 7.
If there's ever a game where we need 8 minutes, then I'll update. But for the moment, I'm just going to leave it at 7. So 7 is the most I've ever seen in a game. So that's why I programmed it up to 7. But
well, for those of you that back at home that might have tuned into the Champions League final today, that was actually 7 minutes of extra time. So.
Yeah, I watched the first half of that one, and then I had to start getting ready for this game. So I had it on in the background, but I wasn't really paying attention. So
certainly, I was talking about earlier how those 7 minutes can feel long. I have to imagine game ended up being 1-0 with 7 extra minutes. And those 7 minutes must have felt like 70 for some of those players.
Number 11 for the Fusion, Logan Hager, checking in. He's a new addition to the roster. He wasn't on the roster again the game against Med City. So we'll get our first glimpse of Hager, and now we'll have a whistle and did that penalty occur inside the, or no, it looks like it's just going to be throw in from the far side there. I thought he whistled a foul, but okay.
Yeah, it confused me for a sec too. I was like, what is he doing?
That's like a kick from the sideline, but and there's a one that goes a little bit high.
Thought I was about to learn a new rule for a second.
I played soccer in high school, and I've watched many soccer games since high school, and I can't recall any rule changes that would allow something like that to happen.
Yeah.
So. Right leg on that one over midfield, and a couple of touches, and it appears that the Fusion will bounce back and forth like a ball in a pinball machine here, and neither team with clear possession. So thrown will come in and it'll be collected there by the Fusion. And that pass will be intercepted, and now the Thunder might have an opportunity here as they get it onto the foot of Storm. Stevenson Storm, he scored to make it 1-0. Scored that goal back in the 19th minute.
And it was a beauty.
It was off a free kick, if my memory serves me correctly. Or was that the second goal?
I believe Storm was the free kick.
Okay. Well, we'll know for sure when we go back and crop out the highlights of this one. So so we approach the 89th, or I'm sorry, approach the 90th minute, 89th minute currently. And Storm, looks like we'll have a short pause in the action here as the whistle will sound from the official. Officials tonight, I'm not sure if they're brothers, but they're all named Mr. Blue, so. I say that with respect. I don't have the officials' names, but. Ooh, that was a nice deflection there to keep the ball moving in the direction that the Fusion would like to see it move, and Now the Thunder will clear that one out. And it'll be a race to the ball here. They got to be careful. Storm was in a position there to take advantage of anything that might have gone wrong. And Fusion able to clear it back out. Nice pass there by Iron Pike. Little spin behind the back heel kick there to get it back to Logan Hager. And now Hager will toss it in. He'll get it to Pike. Pike will tap it back there, and touching up on it was Kyle Blight. Or no, I'm sorry, not Kyle Blight. It was Aaron. I missed the jersey number on that one. 28. It was Kyle Blight. Fusion looking to create an opportunity here as they send the pass across the middle of the field. Loose ball gets inside the box there, and a slide tackle / deflection will send it off the near sideline. And it'll be a throw-in, I believe, for the Thunder. And that will indeed be the case. So taking the toss here is Beltran for the Thunder. Beltran will send it in. Fusion pressuring right away. A little shoulder tackle there, but no call, and the ball goes out of bounds for another Thunder throw-in. Once again, broadcast coverage of today's game brought to you by Simonetti with a save. He is our honorary sponsor for that moment in the game. And now, broadcast coverage brought to you by Healing Touch Chiropractic, Sean Carlson, and Town and Country Credit Union, Essentia Health, NTSI, Network Technology Solutions, Inc., Jasmine's Cafe in Glendon, Oasis C-Store in Glendon and Moorhead, and TC United, bringing you broadcast coverage of today's game between the Fusion and the Thunder here on Magnitude Sports. And once again, whether you're a Fusion fan or a Thunder fan, we hope that you've enjoyed the broadcast tonight. I know the Thunder fans are enjoying it a little bit more than the Fusion fans at the moment, but regardless, we are happy to bring this game to you. That'll be sent in there by Brady Cork. And opportunity, Storm sends it in. Stevenson Storm scores his second goal of the day. And the Thunder take a 4-1 lead. He scored in the 19th minute, and now he scores here in the 93rd minute. I'm guessing we're going to have about 5 minutes of stoppage time, as I forgot to put up the graphic there, but
yeah, well, we talked about the last goal. The Fusion goal was at maybe 0.5 miles per hour. That one back more in that 70, 80 mile per hour range. He got all of that one, and well-deserved second goal for Storm. He's been fantastic, and now back-to-back 2-goal games for him.
4-1, Sioux Falls Thunder over to the Fusion here on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard. And this one is gonna come to a conclusion. That'll be your final score here as we reach full time, and the Sioux Falls Thunder will.
Your final score this evening: Sioux Falls 4, Fusion 1.
Okay, we apologize. That's not supposed to happen here. Let's hit a button and get that off the screen here. Okay. So it is final. There, that's supposed to happen. And had we not changed equipment, it would have worked properly there. So we'll have to manually update the win-loss here for these two teams. But the Sioux Falls Thunder improved to 1-2-0 on the season. The Dakota Fusion will drop to 0-4-0 on the season.
Visiting and attending our match tonight. We ask that you please help in keeping our facilities clean. Please be so kind and place any trash in a receptacle on your way out of the stadium.
All right, so we're going to take a timeout here, and then we'll come back. We'll have a post-game chat and wrap this thing up from Jim Gotta Stadium. Once again, your final score on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard: the Sioux Falls Thunder 4 and the Dakota Fusion 1. Back with your post-game here in a couple of moments on Magnitude Sports.
Hi, it's Dr. Tiffany Johnson from Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo. what impact I want to make, how my office is different, how my niche is different. It is all about giving people hope and helping them believe that their bodies were made to heal.
Let me show you how your life can change through chiropractic at Healing Touch Chiropractic.
Looking for a new home? Make home happen by getting pre-qualified for free with Sean Carlson at Town & Country Credit Union. He'll help you find the best mortgage options for you and keep the process running smoothly from beginning to end. With a 97% satisfaction rate, awesome rewards, low fees, and great rates, it's clear why members love Town & Country Credit Union. Stop in or visit townandcountry.org to find out how you can become a Town & Country member today. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
It was like you can't even describe it. Like I always tell people who don't have kids, it's like your heart running outside of your body. It's just incredible. Like, you made this little human and you do everything you can to protect them.
All right, welcome back. Your post-game show starts now. Here is the Dakota Fusion. They get their first goal on Magnitude this season, their second goal of the season. But it will be the Sioux Falls Thunder who will snap their winless streak on the season, picking up a 4-1 win over the Dakota Fusion here on Magnitude tonight. We certainly appreciate you tuning in. Your scoring recap looks like this. Steven Storm, who scored the first 2 goals against Med City, would also score 2 goals tonight, but he would score the first one, and that one would be launched into the back of the net off a free kick in the 19th minute to make it 1-0. And then fast forward to the about 4 minutes, or about 14 minutes later, in the 33rd minute, Juan Macri, number 18, if he's somewhere on the screen there, would score the second goal to make it 2-0. He would also score the third goal to make it 3-0 in the second half in the 55th minute. So 22 minutes after he scored his second goal, he would score again to make it 3-0 in favor of the Sioux Falls Thunder. Move ahead about 20 minutes to the 75th minute. A centering pass would end up just kind of dropping to the ground and then just not moving, and it would eventually be tapped in by Kyle Blight, and that would make the score 3-1 in favor of the Sioux Falls Thunder. And then in stoppage time in the 93rd minute, Stevenson Storm would get his second goal, and that would end up being your final score as the Sioux Falls Thunder pick up a 4-1 win here in the I'm looking for that button there. in this contest here at Jim Gatta Stadium in Moorhead. Eric, your thoughts on this one? The quick recap. Let's get your insight on it.
Well, you said before the game one of the losing streaks, was going to snap. I suppose if you're Sioux Falls, you're going to say, hey, let's start a new streak now, a win streak, and
yeah,
they did it in a great way. I think they played beautifully today. Storm got 2 goals. He continues his hot streak. Beautiful goalkeeping play as well. Some nice defense. I think Omari really stood out as well. It was a great team win for the Sioux Falls Thunder. And for the Dakota Fusion, well, they got their second goal of the season, first one on Magnitude. I thought really the first 20 minutes or so, their defense looked a lot more polished. Even after they conceded the first goals, just off a really well-struck free kick. So they've definitely shown improvement. I mean, they still definitely not the start that they probably have wanted going into the season, but you can certainly see progress from last game to this game. I think it's definitely, as weird as it sounds, this 4-1 loss is a step in the right direction. And I say that and it sounds weird, but I truly mean that.
Yeah, no, I would lean to agree with that perspective there. I think that's a really good one, and we'll see. They looked a little rookie-ish, probably is a good word to use, against Med City. they did step it up here, and we'll see what they can do when they take on LC Aris in about a week from today, as we take a look at the schedule here coming up for the Dakota Fusion. And once again, their next game on June 5th against LC Aris, and then they'll be home against Minneapolis City, a game that I'd love to be here for, but I think Brad Anderson's going to be here because I'm in Topeka. I think you're in Minneapolis. We'll have 3 games. And it's too bad that's not a road game for the Fusion.
Yeah.
We would be in Minneapolis. We could do that game. But and then they'll have Duluth and Joy St. Louis Park. Joy St. Louis, the only other team that the Fusion have scored against. So they have one goal on the road and 1 goal at home now here on the season. And then they'll have the rematch with Sioux Falls Thunder down in Sioux Falls on July 7th. As we take a peek at the Thunder schedule, after today's game, they will have Joy St. Louis Park on the road, and then they're home for 2 in a row on June 5th and the 9th against Duluth and Med City. And then they'll be on the road on the 12th and 19th against LC Aris and Minneapolis City. And then they'll have a week off before they finish up the month of June against Joy St. Louis Park. Once again, the final scores to all of our games and the links, well, with the special exception of this one, so we're going to have to do some editing to get you 1 link instead of 2. So our website will be updated with this game as soon as that problem has resolved itself. And But in most cases, all of them are available on demand on our website, hamsportsnet.com. Simply click the word watch next to the game that you would like to watch again, and it's as simple as that. We are going to attempt to get this full game in 1 video on our YouTube channel here over the next day or so. So we appreciate you being patient with us. I think that's going to wrap it up. Once again, you check out the stories button for all the latest stories of events related to sports and magnitude and both. And by clicking on the stories button at our website as well. And you can find us online, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course you can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you'd be so kind to do so. Once again, your final score here on the Sean Carlson Town and Country Credit Union scoreboard. The Sioux Falls Thunder 4 improving to 1-2-0 on the season. Dakota Fusion 1 falling to 0-4-0 on the season. For Eric Tiansen, my name is Mike Mason. To the Thunder fans, to the Fusion fans watching, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you at the next game here on Magnitude Sports. Have a great night.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to order a DVD copy of this broadcast, simply visit msportsnet.com/DVD.